Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Polygon Matic. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. And if you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into the TA. So taking a look at Matic here on the daily chart, let me just show you what kind of fib setup I have. So the swing high is all the way up here that we printed in December of 2021, and the swing low is all the way down here. This was our June bottom of this year. So we get our golden ratio at $1.25, and as you can see, we have been pumping for the past couple of days. And you can see that we went all the way up to our golden ratio here, and you retested this resistance zone that I have for you. So this golden rectangle as well, you can see that we have retested that as support multiple times. So once in January, once in February, once in March, once again in April, and then we lost it here in May, or at the end of April, I should say, and we haven't retested that as resistance as of yet, and right now we're coming back up and we're doing just that. And believe it or not, I took profits on my Polygon Matic. I didn't sell the entire stack because I have most of my Matic staking, but I did sell over here at $1.29, believe it or not, and I did this because it was overbought and it was getting rejected from this resistance level. So, and you can see the gap in between the price and the 20 EMA on the daily chart. So all of this just screams for a healthy pullback, because if Matic continues doing something like this, the pullback is going to be very, very strong. So we need to hold the 20 EMA on the daily chart as support here for healthy growth and for healthy continuation of the trend. So immediately, if you're looking for previous, for support levels, I would target, first of all, I would target this low, or this high, I should say, that we printed on August 14th, and that would be at $1.03. So this is where I would be looking for entries, and from $1.29, you can see that we went all the way down, that's a 20% trade, and that's not bad. And yeah, I do let all of my patrons know the trades in advance, or sometimes I just sell and let them know immediately. So basically all of my sell and buy alerts are going to be on Patreon. So if you're interested in that, feel free to check out the link down below in the description. And the next support level below that is obviously going to be the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement, and that is currently sitting at 96 cents. And as you can see, we did run into that multiple times as well in July. Over here you can see, and at the beginning of August, we did have a nice double top pattern there, but we didn't end up correcting down because we didn't lose the neckline. Instead, we held the 20 and we continued to the upside. And we also got rejected here in May from that 0.5 level. So potentially that would be a nice level for us to retest before we continue on. But I do want to say that Polygon Matic has been doing incredibly well since this June bottom, and we've been printing higher lows and higher highs ever since. And this is looking really good for Polygon. We're breaking the August high, which is very important. And if I remove all of these little drawings that I have and bring out a Fibonacci retracement from the low that we printed in September to this swing high that we printed in August, you can see that our 1.618 target is currently at $1.38, and our 1.414 target was at $1.26. If I just remove all of these drawings here, just so it's easier for you to see. So the 1.618, that's our technical target there. And we haven't reached that. We're already very overextended. If we have one last sort of push to the upside and we get to that target, that's not going to mean a lot to me. We're still coming back down for healthy retests. And there is also one other indicator that I'm currently looking at for a potential retracement for Bitcoin and all of crypto. And I dropped that in on my Patreon as well. So yeah, I'm pretty confident that we're going to be seeing another pullback here. And November 10th is actually when we're getting the new CPI data, and I do think that that may just, cause crypto to go down a little bit. Crypto is not really reacting poorly to all of the news coming from the Fed and with the job data that we had yesterday. I think crypto hasn't been reacting to that whatsoever. Instead, we're actually pumping, which is great to see. Obviously, we want crypto to be decoupled from all of that crap. So let's take a look at the daily RSI here and see what's going on. All right, so as well on the daily RSI, you can see that we're actually in the resistance zone that I showed you here. So we retested that in October 2021, we retested that in July this year, and we retested that just right now in November. So this is another reason why I took some profits and sold Polygon Matic here, because we are way, way, way above in the overbought here, sitting currently at the index of 78 to 80. And as you can see, we had a perfect bounce from the white trend line that I showed you, or that I gave you in the last updates. And you can see how perfect of a move that was to the upside. So from here, I'm looking for a move to the downside. Hopefully we can hold the white trend line here. If not, I would target the yellow trend line instead. You also have the pink diagonal trend line here. That was a major resistance zone for us that we managed to break above. We haven't seen the back test of support, so I would be looking for entries on either one of these trend lines. Obviously, if you see a capitulation and you find that the RSI is all the way down here in the oversold below the index of 30, then obviously anything in this zone, that's good to buy. You don't need me to make a video specifically about that and telling you, hey, now it's good to buy Matic, because any asset in the oversold, that's a good entry point, because you can see that every time you find yourself there, you typically see a very strong and very quick recovery afterwards, right? And that's just easy to understand. If you've been watching my channel for quite a while, you're gonna know all of this stuff already. So that's regarding the daily chart for Polygon Matic. You can see that we broke out of this channel up pattern, which was quite surprising to me, because most of the time you break to the downside out of channel up patterns, and out of channel down patterns you break to the upside typically. That's just how it goes. But here we actually did the opposite. As you can see, sometimes things don't go as they should or how they usually go. And yeah, right now we are sitting at the 1.272 at $1.20. This is our minimal target. If you haven't taken profits yet, I would just have some limit orders, perhaps at 24, 25 cents. If you want to sell there and just buy back at 20 or $1.05, $1.04, that would be a nice swing trade in my opinion. But yeah, now we can actually move over to the Binance website. And before we continue the video, I quickly want to mention my Patreon. Now, if you like the channel and you like the content that I provide for you on this channel, then feel free to check my Patreon out for more exclusive content like low cap gem calls, my buy alerts, my sell alerts. I do take a look at your technical analysis requests, at your video requests. As you can see, there are multiple tiers which you can choose from, and if you want to support the channel, then this is the best way to do so. As you can see, I do post quite frequently. I have almost 1,000 posts, I think there, or getting closer to 1,000 anyway, and I did start my Patreon a year ago. So yeah, let's get back to the video. Switching over to the weekly chart on the Binance website, you can see that Polygon Matic is performing extremely well on the weekly. You can see that we're breaking above the 55 weekly EMA, and this is a very, very bullish signal, guys, because the 20 weekly EMA is actually curling to the upside, and if we get a bullish cross on the weekly chart, that is going to be a major, major signal. Lots of partnership coming in with Polygon right now, lots of news regarding that, so the price is obviously pumping. But what I would be looking at is this yellow diagonal resistance trend line for us. This could be something that we may retest down the line, because this is a very important support zone that we have created here, July 2021. We retested that multiple times during 2022 as well, then we lost it in April, and we haven't come back to it yet to retest it as resistance. So I would be looking at that. Also, we're breaking out of a major falling wedge here with a technical target at $2.90. I don't think we're going to get to that target, very quickly, but as you can see, we're simply, if I bring that up, we are just 138% off from that high, and this is our all-time high. As you can see, Polygon Matic didn't go down that much. It only had a Actually, it did actually 89% pullback. But still, it has recovered extremely well since the June bottom. And as you can see, we're up 302%. My average buying price is 44 cents for Polygon Matic. I wish I bought more now, but I do have a nice stack, and all of those trade alerts were on my Patreon back when I was buying them. So if you have been on my Patreon for that long, then shout out to you. Thank you for being there. I really appreciate the support. And taking a look at the immediate support level below us here in case of any strong capitulations. So 74 cents is this yellow trend line. This is what held us here in September, and this is where we actually bottomed and started moving to the upside. So in case of a future pullback, I would take a look at this yellow trend line, and I would also take a look at the teal support trend line, which was the previous resistance of the falling wedge, because typically you break out of a resistance level and then you come back down to retest it as support. So that still could be possible. Just because we're seeing this doesn't mean that we are in the bull market yet. However, things are looking very good for Polygon Matic as of right now. Moving into the weekly RSI, we're getting our confirmation of the breakout. The RSI is also breaking out of a major resistance level here, as you can see. And we're breaking out of this falling wedge as well. And immediately, I do have a resistance level above us here. And this is something that we have retested once in August last year and once again in October last year. So potentially, this is where we're going to run into right now in November. If we may go down earlier than that, we may pull back here and just, come back down once we get the November 10th CPI data. No one knows what's going to happen, but with every day that passes by, I do think that we may not even see a pullback after the inflation data is out, but who knows? Who knows? We have to be ready for both outcomes at all times. If you're looking to take profits and you still haven't sold and you don't want to sell right now, maybe look at this weekly resistance on the RSI. If we actually end up going all the way up here into the overbought on the weekly, then that would be a very nice exit in my opinion, because at least for the midterm, you can just take some profits and buy back in once you pull back down. So that's what I would be doing. You also have the same thing happening here in December of 2021. So potentially you could repeat same thing, come back down, sell, buy here. Pretty easy, but yeah, I'll be with you guys along the way. We'll take a look at everything. And yeah, if I missed out anything important on the charts, please let me know down below in the comment section. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to check out my Patreon down below. And if you want to support Ukraine, there are 2 donation links down below in the description. Feel free to do so. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.